The Top Fuel Racing Series is on the air. DW12 League live from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is the PK Motorsports Aces and Eights 208. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight. Joined with me by my partners in crime, Mr. Coca-Cola Classic and Mr. Pall Mall Menthol 100. Hot laps underway right now as these guys are cranking out some pretty sick times. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention to you that our bump music tonight being brought to you by TDA Motorsports and our very good friend Mr. Terry Adams. TDA Motorsports proudly supporting the Disabled American Veterans Association. DAV is an all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. On more information on how you can get involved, we ask that you go to DAV.org. And of course, as always is the case here with Bofa Broadcasting, we do proudly support pulmonary hypertension awareness. Unfortunately, pulmonary hypertension is one of the most difficult to diagnose diseases on the planet because it masks itself with symptoms of so many other terminal illnesses. And usually by the time a doctor realizes, hey, you might have this, there are very few options left for the patient. Early detection is the key, and we ask that you go to phaware.global or phaware.org so you can help spread pulmonary hypertension awareness. And of course, tonight's overlay being brought to you by PZ Overlays. Paul Zota creating some of the most beautiful overlays in all of iRacing. For more information on how you can get your own from PZ Overlays, you can find Paul Zota on his Facebook page. So, hot laps underway right now, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The mile and a half. This track is just, pardon my language, folks, but it's just a flippin' insane piece of real estate. You know, a mile and a half, these guys are hauling off into the corners at north of 230 miles an hour. And there's our first, thank God this is a simulator moment of the night. So, group qualifying getting ready to fire off here. I stand corrected. Solo qualifying getting ready to fire off here. So until I can get a handle on this, we're going to be bouncing around just a tick here, folks. Bear with me. Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett in the PH Aware Ride to Give 101. Speaking of awesome looking pizzas at Kit. As we're watching Sam take a flyer right now. Second lane seems to be working pretty well for him. Carl Burke putting up the first time. Mark Walker, Greg Napier, and then Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett. Not that far off. And there's a good friend of both broadcasting, Mr. John Napier, in the XS Sim Gear, number 99. Popping one off. His boy Greg going second quick so far. It's Greg Napier in the Prestige Vapory, number 32. And their teammate Joe Morganti in the Soda Fix, number 53. Good grief, boys. Leave some for the rest of us. There's Tony Rice cranking down the back straightaway. Looks like he's going to be one and done, going fifth quick. Ronnie Osmer in the Ride to Give PH Aware Napa Auto Parts. Number 44 goes to the top of the board. 6/1000ths of a second to the good over Keith Mayato. Keith running the only Ford in the field tonight. Paul Crumry in the number 8 7-Up machine. Seriously, Paul, you need to get a new number for that car. That's just confusing. Goes to the top of the leaderboard. 18/1000ths of a second to the good over Osmer. Mean ya. Scotty Brinson currently sitting fifth quick. William Rast tribute paint scheme. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but is that the car I think it is? Quick look at the point standings here as qualifying still about 5 minutes left. Scotty Brinson sitting at the top of the point standings currently. Chris Walker sitting second. Paul Crumry, Robert Dudley, Nate Siefker. Unfortunately, Nate has taken a harsh nosedive, not being able to really run that well the last couple of weeks. Sitting fifth. Mark Walker actually gained a spot last week. Kevin O'Brien gained a spot last week. Tony Rice gained a spot last week. Brad Truax dropped 3 for missing Road America. Matt Burkhart stayed in the top 10. Osmer +3. Joe Morganti +5. So that was a good showing last week for Morganti, bringing him up into 12th. Then you've got Brian Timbrell, Doug Kennedy, John Napier, Carl Burke, Tyler Stanley, Sam Cooper Bennett gaining 2 spots last week, Matt Hummel dropping 1, and Colin Scott dropping 1 to round out your top 20 in points as the season is fast winding down. Only a couple of races left here. We'll take a look at the remaining schedule. As next week is going to be the Steve Bowman Memorial at Auto Club. Then we go to the European Grand Prix at Brands Hatch. I'm actually looking forward to that one. And then we go to the Brickyard. That's right, folks. Mark your calendars. May 23rd, Top Fuel takes the DW12 to the Indy 500. 200 laps scheduled for that one. Yeah, looking forward to that one, definitely. So, qualifying just about over with here. Would like to remind you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you like the action that you're seeing on the track, go ahead and drop a comment with your iRacing screen name. We'll see if we can't get it passed along to the league admins and see if we can get you added into a future event here in Top Fuel Racing. So, looks like everybody that's going to take time has taken time. And would anybody like to guess what type of bowling ball Tyler Vickery uses? I've always been a Rhino man myself, but hey, I'm not going to knock the kid for running the Storm. As we're watching Tyler pop off a lap here. And I seriously need to start remembering to mute chat groups in Facebook prior to going live. Because some of you sons of bitches don't know how to shut up. While we're at it, we're going to mute this one too. And that should do that. So that's going to about do it for Vickery there. Not sure how many laps the kid's going to take. Really, Tyler? Really? Of all the tracks you had to pick to do that, you had to pick here. All right. Anywho. Kevin O'Brien sitting there. Lights are on, nobody's home, as that's going to do it for qualifying. As these crazy kids are getting ready to grid on up now. Starting up on the point is going to be Virginia's own Justin Michaels. He's joined with Paul Crumry out of the Midwest Invaders. Row number 2 is going to go to Mid-South, Ronnie Osmer. He's joined with the Canadian kid, Keith Mayato. Canada represented in row 3 as well with Mark McFadden. He's joined with Mid-South, Robert Dudley. Nate Siefker out of the Midwest and Carl Burke out of the Northwest. Going to be making up row number 4. Florida's own Scotty Brinson is going to be joined with Joe Morganti out of the Chi-Town area. Texas boy Greg Napier is going to be joined with Michigan's Chris Walker on row number 6. Row 7 is going to go to Virginia native Tony Rice with Club Ohio's Doug Kennedy. Club Ohio's Mark Walker and Texas boy John Napier going to make up row number 8. Row 9 is going to go to my brother from another mother from across the pond, UK's own Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, by way of Ireland. And he's joined with the Florida Invader Mr. Tyler Vickery. And starting shotgun on the field, Kevin O'Brien. And as you can see Kevin's car there, the Aussie Vineyards. Anybody want to guess where Kevin's from? Field's starting to roll off now. Justin Michaels rolling the 511 Tactical number 87 to the pole tonight. And for those of you who've never worn 511 Tactical footwear, I am a big fan. So, 139 laps of scheduled distance here, and 208 miles, if you will, on this 1.5 mile track. No fast repairs. Cautions are on. Fixed setup. Pack racing at its finest. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. That roof pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. And we are live from Vegas, baby. Green. Hosmer and Michael just getting I've never seen a jump that big. Paul Crumry apparently just slightly asleep at the switch, but he's going to reel him right back in as the draft is real here at Vegas. Crumry to the high line already. Justin Michael throwing the block. And they're too wide behind him. That's Seifker, McFadden, Miato, and Dudley. And these guys are already dicing it out. We're only working lap number 3. That's Dudley and Miato going at it right now. And here comes Nate Seifker. Seifker rocking the Worst by Rockstar Energy drink tonight on the number 2. And yes, I did say Worst by. Not a fan of that store. Seifker with the nose out front as they work their way into the 3-4 complex. Hosmer right there has to let off a little bit. Arrow push is definitely real tonight. Give that lap to Seifker. Here comes Michaels again. Here comes Hosmer. Seifker about to get freight trained as they work their way down the back straightaway. And Mark McFadden, another country heard from. Hosmer to the inside. Give that lap to Hosmer. 6 1,000ths of a second at the line. Hosmer still with a nose out front. Hosmer, Michael, Seifker, McFadden, Dudley, your top 5. Make that Crumry as he and Dudley side by side for the number 5 spot. These guys are racing like it's the last lap already. And Sam Cooper Bennett, the first one to blink. Going out on a limb and say possible wing damage for the driver of the 101. And I dare say yes. Yeah, that right front wing is pretty well tweaked on Cooper Bennett's car. And there it is. Just got a little bit of a nerf on lap 9. Ate the wall and had to get that thing fixed. Back out running right now, 2 laps down. As back up to front, and we are back live. Osmer continuing to show the way. Michael's trying to work that outside line, getting the blinkies, and it's Carl Burke pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. Let's find out what happened there. It's Burke in the Amsoil's 09. Morganti in the Sodafix. Morganti in the Sodafix car. That's Greg Napier in the Prestige Vapory car behind him. Morganti to the inside. And there is the infamous transmission tunnel glitch. Let's watch that from a chase cam, shall we? And you can see the fun and excitement that just took place. Now, this is a pure netcode glitch that is known in these cars. Watch the rear end of the car and how deep into the track it goes. Watch the nose of the car, how deep into the track it goes. He had asphalt in his lap. Oh, man, that's unfortunate there. The good news is, though, Sam Cooper Bennett getting one of his laps back. Bad news is Carl Burke looks like he may have put it behind the wall. Yes, he did. And a lot of takers going down pit road right now. Crumry stays out. Mark Walker stays out. Kevin O'Brien stays out. 13 laps on their tires. Going to be interesting to see what type of dichotomy we get with Osmer winning the battle off pit road. Justin Michael behind him. Siefker and McFadden came out almost in lockstep. And O'Brien taking it down pit side. Looks like a little bit of fuel strategy starting to rear its head already. We are working lap 13 of 139. And again, tonight's overlay being brought to you by PZ Overlays. Paul Zota creating some of the most beautiful and innovative ATVO overlays in all of iRacing. For more information on how you can get your own, you can find Paul Zota on his Facebook page. Paul Zota. Just like it sounds, folks. So, field under caution right now, 14 laps into the event. Crumry and Walker both staying out, everybody behind them going down pit road. Gonna be interesting to see how this one plays out. Because I know the aero push is real. Track position is at a premium. But I'm thinking on 14 lap tires, you've already worn most of, if not all of, the goodness off of those Firestones. See what I did there? And I'm thinking that these two guys are going to be sitting ducks when we go back to green. Lights go out on the pace car. Currently working lap 15. And again, you are watching the Top Fuel Racing Series DW12 League. This is the PK Motorsports Aces in H208 from Sin City. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Walker, Crumry, Osmer, Michael, McFadden, Seifker, Dudley, Morganti, Napier, and Walker, your top 10. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn. Pace car's in. Crumry in control of the field, wasting no time pulling the trigger. And Osmer right with him. And Mark Walker wasting no time dropping down to that low line, the preferred line around here. Going to try to protect the inside. And not going to work there as Michael gets a great run off of 2. And Walker slams the door going into 3. Meanwhile, Osmer trying to work that high side for the lead. Gonna get a run off too. It's gonna be interesting to see how this happens down the back straightaway. That's fresh tires on the outside line. Old tires on the inside line. And remember, the aero push is real here as Walker loses a ton of momentum having to check up. And Seifker right now in the catbird seat. He knows what's about to happen. He can feel it. Something's about to go sideways, and somebody's going to catch a race car to the face. But you got to give credit to Paul Crumry right now. He's doing everything he can to hang on to that lead. And I can guarantee you Ronnie Osmer has his foot through the floorboards right now trying to get by him. Oh, no. Nate Seifker starting to blink again. These guys are still side by side. We're going to check back here. That's McFadden and Dudley duking it out for 6th. And they have the entire team of Strange Nuts Racing right on their transmission tunnels. There's Morganti in the SodaFix car. There's Napier in the Prestige Vapory car. And there's his dad, John Napier, in the XS Sim Gear number 99. Guys, don't look behind you. As Morganti gets to the inside of McFadden, side by side down the back straightaway. Would like to give a shout out to our friends at SodaFix. Been told you guys have been tuning in. If you're ever interested in opening another location, might I suggest the Greater Syracuse, New York Metroplex. And no, that's not the name of them all, just somewhere around the Syracuse area. Also, a shout out to our friends at Prestige Vapory. I have been told you guys have been tuning into all the broadcasts. What up, my people? And can a brother get a hookup on a new coil? Meanwhile, up in front, Paul Crumry still showing the way. Justin Michaels getting by Ronnie Osmer. Ronnie basically going, go ahead, bro. I just threw everything I had at him except the kitchen sink. Your turn. Osmer backing up to try to get a run on these two guys. Michaels to the high side now. Osmer to the inside. Oh, that's a little bit sketchy. Tell me Crumry's not doing everything he can within reason to hang on to that lead. 5/1000ths of a second for Crumry at the line right there. These guys are racing like it's the last lap already. And I can only imagine how long before somebody's going to lose their cool. Crumry, Michael, Osmer, Siefker, and Walker, your top 5. Throw a blanket over them as they are seriously starting to gap Robert Dudley in the 49. And I would like to point out Robert Dudley driving the Cure for ALS number 49. Anytime somebody is going to put a worthy charity on their car like that, I'm going to give them a shout. You can't fault somebody for wanting to do good with their sim racing. Here comes Siefker. They've gotten by Crumry. Let's back that up a little bit. Osmer gets the run. This is a lap earlier. Osmer gets the run. Crumry just let him go. Apparently tires completely worn out. Osmer gets by. Siefker gets by. As we're back live, that's Michael on the inside. Justin Michael was still working the inside of Paul Crumry. And you got to think that Crumry has worn just anything that's remotely grip-worthy off of those Firestone Firehawks. As finally Michaels gets by. And big congratulations for Crumry for hanging on as long as he did. Mark Walker doing the same thing. 31 laps on these guys' tires. Everybody else 18 or less. As Walker gets by Crumry. Osmer continuing to show the way. The field's starting to get strung out a little bit here. And about the only person on track that's hoping for a caution is Sam Cooper Bennett. The only car a lap down. 19 took the green. 18 are still running. 17 on the lead lap. Going to be working lap 34 this time across the stripe. And give that one to Michaels. 49/1000ths of a second. These guys are just flat getting it. $33,000ths of a second for Osmer that time. And unfortunately for Paul Crumry, I'm thinking he has worn any little bit of goodness off of those tires as Morganti working to the inside of Dudley. Just bombs it into 3, gets the run. Here we go. Morganti up into 6th, working on Crumry, getting into the top 5. Got his foot through the floorboard right now of the Soda Fix number 53, and Morganti into 5th. Dudley with a slingshot move down the backstretch, and Crumry finally going pit side. Finally calling no mas. This is your battle for 5th right now. Morganti has it. Dudley wants it. One thousandths of a second for Dudley at the line. Morganti with the preferred line going through 1. Dudley threw him a dummy. Morganti had to let him go. And John Napier creeping up into this battle. That's Morganti in the orange and blue car. One thing I did fail to mention earlier when I was talking about the drivers from Strange Nuts, I do have to give them respect for running the Periwinkle wings tonight in respect for those that we've lost recently to pulmonary hypertension. They are running the pH-aware logos on their cars as well. Big respect from us at both for broadcasting to everybody on Strange Nuts Racing for doing that. And there is Tyler Vickery making another country heard from, and Scotty Brinson coming into this battle as well. And don't count out Keith Mayato, the only Ford in the field tonight. Meanwhile, up in front, Osmer, Michael, and Seifker have just flat checked out on the rest of the field. Over 2 seconds to the good from Seifker to Dudley right now. And finally, Mark Walker crying no mas. 42 laps. 43 laps, sorry. Dudley finally brings it down pit side. John Napier, the first one to blink of the front runners. Looks like Morganti going pit side as well. So there's Walker finally coming out of the pits. Let me make sure I'm live. Yes, I am. And you got to wonder when these guys are going to come pit side. Inside of 100 to go. Working lap 46 of 139. This is the Top Fuel Racing Series DW12 League. Race number 12, the PK Motorsports Aces and Eights 208 from Vegas. Osmer and Michael still slugging it out for first. Seifker right there just riding, saving fuel. And you gotta wonder how much longer these guys are going to stay out. Currently 34 laps into this tire stint. The 33 thousandths of a second that time at the line for Osmer. Doug Kennedy in the pits. These guys are still pushing like it's the last lap. Looks like Tony Rice might be bringing it pit side. Maybe. Or not. That's Tony Rice directly in front of your leaders right there. So these guys are already into lap traffic. That could have ended poorly. And that's going to let Michaels get through. Osmer finally gets through. Siefker finally gets cleared. Osmer with a little bit of bump and run, bump drafting in an Indy car. Are you kidding me? That's Chris Walker in front of your leaders. He's going to be the next one to go a lap down, unfortunately. As it looks like we've got a whole bunch of takers bringing it down pit side this time. Dudley going pit side. McFadden, Walker, Cooper Bennett going pit side. Oh! And the leaders touch. Scotty Brinson eats the inside wall. How was that not a caution? Holy crap. Talk about drama on pit road. And Keith Mayato, the only Ford in the field, leads a lap and brings it down pit side. So Keith Mayato, your leader, can he get out in front of Michael? He can. There's Keith, and there goes Michael by him. And here comes Joe Morganti. Morganti in the SodaFix car up into second place. And Napier up into third. There's Mayato slugging it out with Dudley now. That's your top five. And there's Greg Napier. Unfortunately, Greg was a little worse for wear under that pit stop. So there's Dudley and John Napier fighting it out for the final podium spot currently. As we are now working lap 57 of 139. Justin Michael leading. Joe Morganti 2.5 seconds back. And then this battle for third with Napier, Dudley, Mayato, and Vickery is another 2 seconds back off of that. Good grief. Mayato all over the transmission tunnel in Napier right now. Again, Mayato running the only Ford in the field. Robert Dudley in the Find a Cure for ALS, number 49, has third. Napier sits fourth. Mayato fifth. That's Vickery in sixth. And Mayato, oh, they touch! And Napier down on the apron, cannot save it. Is it going to bring out a caution? No, because he keeps it down on the apron. Oh, John's got to be pissed. Let's go back and watch the replay of that one. Brushes the wall going into one, and unfortunately for him, Mayato was already there. And for what it's worth, Keith did come off the fuel pedal, so he didn't destroy him. And unfortunately, John just was on the apron. There's a lot of debris down there, a lot of marbles, just could not hang on to it. So that has shaken up the running order just a tick. So there's Siefker making his way past Vickery and Walker. And now sets his sights on trying to reel in Robert Dudley. Here comes Walker to the inside. Gets the clear at the line. Walker up into fourth. Siefker bombs it into one. Now, mind you, folks, this is just your battle for fourth. And I say just, jokingly, of course, as Walker and Siefker are just elbows deep into that top 5 points battle. And Siefker has a ton of points he needs to make up after not being able to finish the last couple of weeks. And I'm not live. Now I am. Siefker back in control. And they are steadily losing ground to Robert Dudley's number 49. All this battling has let Dudley just flat check out. And Crumry spins it coming through 4. What happened there? Looks like he was trying to go pit side. and just flat lost it on the flat. We stay green, though. Meanwhile, back up front, your leader, Justin Michael, 3.7 seconds to the good. There's Joe Morganti in the Strange Nuts Soda Fix, number 53, holding down a strong second place right now. Still starting to still gapping Robert Dudley in the number 49. Dudley dealing with some lap traffic there. That was Keith Maiato. And unfortunately for Robert, Chris Walker and Nate Seifker are reeling him in. This battle for fourth is your closest on the track right now. Seifker has it. That's Seifker in the Best Buy Rockstar Energy number 2. Walker wants it back. He's in the Martini and Rossi number 23. And then Tyler Vickery in the Bowling Ball number 24. These guys are just still throwing everything at each other except the kitchen sink. .000 at the line. And the scary thing is, even with all the battling they're doing, they are still reeling in the number 49 of Robert Dudley. May have been a little bit of contact there. Let's go back and see what the chopper picked up. Net code, hell of a save by Nate Seifker. As we are back live. This is your battle for 10th. That's Mark Walker in the 36. Doug Kennedy in the ABC, number 58. And John Napier with some fresher tires getting around the two of them easily. That's Ronnie Osmer directly in front of them. You got to wonder what could have been. And green flag pit stop starting already. Scotty Brinson in as well. Maiato No, I'm sorry. My auto's not in. Joe Morganti going pit side. Justin Michael continuing to show the way. Robert Dudley in the Cure for ALS number 49 sitting in second. There's Chris Walker and Tyler Vickery. That's your battle for the podium. Siefker's right there as well. So green flag stops underway. Who was that? Sam Cooper Bennett. What happened there? Ooh, eats the wall. And then just loses it. I'm thinking suspension damage on the 101. Spins onto the apron, no caution. Meanwhile, this battle for third. As Siefker reeling his way back in. Walker has it. Vickery sitting there stalking. Vickery to the inside as they head into turn number 1. Nose out front, bombs it in there. Gets the slot. And Siefker had to check up. Vickery into third. Working lap 88 of 139. The question is, can they reel in second place Robert Dudley? He's over a second and a half up the road. Justin Michael continuing to show the way. Robert Dudley in the Cure for ALS number 49 currently sitting in second. Tyler Vickery in the bowling ball number 24 sitting in third. Walker and Siefker slugging it out for fourth right now. As Walker bringing it pit side. McFadden going pit side as well. And here comes your leader. Justin Michael bringing it pit side. Dudley going pit side, and Vickery just barely able to keep it off the wall. Osmer stays out. Osmer's got to blister a couple of laps here. Gets it woed down a lot safer. Got Tony Rice directly in front of him. Michaels is going to take the lead back right now. There's Joe Morganti. Into third. Dudley flashes by. There goes Siefker and Walker. There goes McFadden. Here comes Brinson. Osmer back up to speed into 7. That leaves us with 8 cars left on the lead lap. Tyler Vickery popped for speeding. Mark Walker popped for speeding. Morganti in the Soda Fix number 53, holding down a strong second place right now. Robert Dudley in the Cure for ALS number 49. Over a second and a half to the good for third. Closest battle on the track right now, Nate Siefker and Chris Walker. This is your battle for fourth. I'm sorry, no, that's not. That's Mark Walker behind Nate Siefker, so that is not a battle. Sorry, folks. There are no battles. Everybody's so strung out right now, they make Courtney Love look straight. Go ahead, get your hate mail coming. And yes, I know Miss Love has gone through rehabilitation. She's allegedly clean, and I do apologize. And unfortunately for Scott Brinson, he's about to go a lap down. Because there's Brinson going into 3. And there's your leader, Justin Michaels, going into 3. Let's see how that works. Tyler Vickery, unfortunately, a lap down. And John Napier having to take it pit side again. So, unfortunately, Sam Cooper Bennett still in the pits. Justin Michaels continuing to show the way. Almost 8 full seconds to the good over Joe Morganti right now. What is Tony Rice doing? That almost ended poorly. And still almost ended poorly. Wow. And this field is just getting more and more and more strung out. I blame Scott Brinson because he actually told me prior to me going on the air, folks, that, oh yeah, it's going to be pack racing tonight. It's going to be kind of like Talladega or Daytona. Thanks, Scott. So you guys can get your hate mail coming for that one. It's Mr. Scott Brinson, care of Bofa, Tampa, Florida, P.O. Box OU812. And just checking in with Turtle Tax. No, sir. Actually, we do quite a bit of open wheel stuff here on Bofa Broadcasting. Sunday night is the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League IR18 series. Monday night is a fan's choice, where we send Sam to the Paskey Sports Cardiac Truck Series. And starting this coming Monday, I believe it is, I will be with the H&H Concrete 305 Pavement Wing Sprint Car Series. And then Tuesday night is the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League IR05 Series. Wednesday nights are Top Fuel Racing. And then, yes, the vast majority of our broadcasts are going to be full-fendered stock car stuff. So, a quick little rundown of what we do here at BOFA. So, as Robert Dudley and Nate Siefker has gotten by Dudley. As looks like Joe Morganti has gone pit side again. Mayato has gone pit side again. So this is your battle for second right now. Siefker has it. Dudley wants it back. As they are quickly closing in on the 7-Up machine of Paul Crumry. And tonight's Heartburn brought to you by I Can't Believe It's Not Potatoes. Almost contact going into 3. Siefker has it. Dudley still trying to battle back. 1 car length at the line. You almost got to think these guys should just get in line. As Scotty Brinson goes pit side again. You almost think these guys just need to get in line and just try to reel in Justin Michael. Still plenty of time left. There's 23 laps to go. So we've not seen the money stop from everyone yet. They can make it from here. Now, mind you, they do need to stop one more time. The question is, when? Oh, contact. Is that going to bring out a caution? Yes, it is.
Yellow flag is out.
And there it is. Let's see what the chopper picked up on that one. So they're coming up on Scotty Brinson at speed. Siefker moves up. Unfortunately, Dudley didn't want to let him go. Dudley was trying to use Brinson as a pick, and Siefker just door jammed him. Headlong into the safer barrier. There's our first one of the night. Thank God this is a simulator moment. And that is going to change the outlook of this race completely. Is Dudley trying to limp it back to the pits? Michael going pit side. Expect to see Siefker. There he is. Chris Walker coming pit side. Ronnie Osmer fought back, now coming pit side. Tyler Vickery getting the lucky dog. Mark Walker in deep doo right now, as unfortunately 39 laps on his stint has to wait for the wave around. So, of the cars waiting to get the wave around, how the hell? Not sure why Morganti's there. Shouldn't he be in front of? Okay, so there goes Mark Walker into the pits. Of the cars that are going to take the wave around, Brinson can make it. McFadden can make it. Dudley should be able to make it. Walker not getting a wave around. Not sure why Morganti's getting an EOL. Okay. So apparently none of my Facebook friends actually watch my streams. Thanks, guys. Make me feel all special and stuff. So lights are out on the pace car as my computer decides it wants to do what it wants to do. Justin Michael going to have control of the field. Nate Siefker starting outside row number 1. Ronnie Osmer inside row number 2. This is dangerous for Michael. Osmer's been one of the few that has had anything for him tonight. Siefker is the other one. They're starting within striking distance. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. And here we go. We are back live.
Green, green, green.
Siefker wasting no time dropping down. Michael's getting a great jump. Osmer thinking about making it 3 wide. Justin Michael gonna have to control that inside line. Make these guys do it the hard way. And he runs Siefker up the track. How to not make friends in this league. Osmer with his teammate to his inside. Osmer's got to be in the team speak with his teammate right now, just using all sorts of words and phrases that his mom's got to be so proud of. Michael's still in control. Siefker trying to figure out a way around. Osmer trying to get backed up so he can get a run on these two. Tyler Vickery doing everything he can to hold off Chris Walker right now. 12 to go. The question is, who's going to blink first? And unfortunately, with the talent level that's here, these guys know where to put their own race car to keep the guy behind them. They're going to have to hope that whoever's in front of them steps on their own jump to get by. Siefker to the high side. Side by side through the 3-4 complex. Osmer to the inside. Siefker about to get freight trained. The question is Osmer going to try the trick he's tried all night? We're about to see it. 10 to go. It's going to be 9 this time across the stripe. Siefker to the inside. Osmer with a little bit of a run gets to clear down the backstretch. Osmer's trying to time that run on the 87 of Michael. They almost touch going through one. Still side by side. And Michael ran Osmer up the hill coming off of 4. Siefker gets by. Siefker going to try the inside. Or outside, I mean.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, what happened there? Mark Walker upside down. Oh, no. And I believe that's the race, ladies and gentlemen. Watch the birdie as they come through the tri-oval. That's Walker in the teal car. Just a little bit of contact. 2 cars eat the wall. And then everybody steps on their own junk. And to be honest with you, folks, I don't see us going back to green. Because we're within inside 5 laps to go. Joe Morganti finally getting the wave around. Finally putting it back on the lead lap. So So I do believe that's going to just about wrap this one up in a nice big bow. You are, of course, watching the Top Fuel Racing Series DW12 League. Race number 12, PK Motorsports Aces and Eights 208 from Vegas. Wouldn't that be Deuces and Eight? I don't know. I don't know. I don't name them. Three to go. If the lights don't go out on the pace car this time, we're not going back to green, unfortunately. Excuse me. Again, Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you, joined with my partner in crime, my broadcast partner for the night, Coca-Cola Classic. We're going back green. A one-lap shootout. Okay, so place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put the over-under at 5 for the number of cars to get taken out on this lap. Place your bets. Justin Michael going to have control of the field. Nate Siefker is going to have to time the restart just perfect. Osmer scrubbing the daylights out of his tires. Got his teammate Tyler Vickery directly next to him. Chris Walker has to pray he can get the restart of his life right here. Pace car getting ready to duck in. Pace car's in.
Green, green, green.
Osmer and Siefker side by side for second. Justin Michael's got to hold on for 2.5 more corners. Osmer's going to have one shot at him. Here it is. They almost touch. Michael's hanging on for the lead. Osmer for second, Siefker third. Walker hanging on for fourth. What a finish.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
We're going to reach out to the teammates finishing second and third right now. And I do apologize, Nate. I completely forgot that you just joined Phenomenal Evolution Motorsports this week. Congratulations, guys, on getting 2 of the rungs on the podium tonight. I know you wanted one more rung up, but after all the trouble both of you had, you got to kind of, hang your heads high for being able to come back for podium finishes.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, me and Ronnie both had our trouble on pit road coming in there. I'm not even sure what happened. I'm not even sure why I spun it, to be honest. And then after that, there was just that long green flag run where, we were just in a lull. We couldn't quite do much past 2 guys and got to second. And then that caution came out. I feel bad for Dudley. My apologies if you're watching, Dudley. I definitely didn't mean to do that. I think it was, it was Scott in front of us, and I just got a lot of air from Scott, so that caused that second caution there. So my apologies to Dudley for that, but for us, we had a good night, I'd say so, except for Sam. He had his issues tonight, which is unfortunate because we want Sam to have good runs with us, and we all 3 of us had a good run. We just wanted Sam to be with us tonight, though, so it's a bit unfortunate, but hopefully next week, where do we go next week?
Auto Club.
So hopefully we'll have a better night there, all of us, and hopefully we'll be, hopefully we can take all 3 spots on the podium.
All right, Ronnie, talk us through that little melee you had on pit road there.
I drove it in deep because I did the wrong thing in practice with fresh tires going to pit road, so it stuck with fresh tires. On the old tires, it was slipping and sliding. I thought I had it saved, and then Justin came in at the exact same time, and he was outside of me, and we both made contact. I got spun around. I got spun back around, but then the other cars slowed me down, getting turned back around, and it was chaos. But I drove hard to get back through the field. Was cheering on my teammates the entire time. I was hoping they would have a better shot than me because I lost my chance. But at the end, that caution came out at the perfect time, and I was working my way back up the field, and we were able to get a good finish.
Well, guys, congratulations on getting two of the top three spots on the podium. Well, hopefully next week at Auto Club it'll work a little bit better in your favor.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. So now we just got to find where he is.
He is in Top Fuel Alley.
Kitty. There he is.
User was moved to your channel.
The man of the hour, stinking up the entire show most of the night. Justin Michaels, or Michael, I do apologize for putting that S on the end. Justin, what a hell of a drive you had tonight. Talk us through that little melee that happened on pit road that unfortunately you got caught up in.
Yeah, I gotta actually go back and look at it. It looks like I went in too hot and started sliding. He went in too hot, started sliding the other way, and we just kind of ran right into each other. So I got the better end of it and was able to go on. He, it looks like he, I guess, spun out and got put to the back.
Well, he definitely overcooked it trying to get straightened back out and ended up spinning more. So, how was the tire fall off tonight? We kind of noticed, Paul Crummery was able to hang with you guys on 18 lap older tires, even towards the end of a fuel run there. Talk us through how the car was really feeling throughout the run tonight.
It felt fine. Got a little loose there at the end, but I know I think it was 24. Tyler, he was keeping up with us there at the when we put him a lap down. But he was nice enough not to race me or anything. Yeah. Other than that, I didn't really see anybody else. They were behind me, and so I didn't really pay attention to their.
So, talk to us about that one pucker moment you had when you and Seifker were duking it out there, and you came up on Tony Rice. Was anything actually said, or was it just one of those? You were wondering, does he see me?
Yeah, not sure. I guess he it wasn't paying attention, or I don't know. Maybe he was just daydreaming at the time. But we came up on him a good 20 mile an hour faster. And I got on the radio and kind of told him off because it kind of pissed me off. I'm down on the apron and I'm the leader. You don't race the leader like that. Get out of the way, especially when you're a few laps down.
All right, so the series moves to Auto Club next week. Talk to us your thoughts about going to the big 2-miler.
It's a fun track. I don't know. I got to check my work schedule and see if I can make it. I know that I'm off for Indy, so I'll definitely be there, but I'm not sure about next week. And I definitely won't be at Brands Hatch because I don't own it and I'm not a big road course.
All right, fair enough. Well, speaking of somebody that is going to be at Brands Hatch, I know for a fact Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett's been turning laps there already.
I haven't. It's a fun track, I will tell you that. I haven't used the official TFR setup just yet, but judging by the way the DW12 drives around there, it's going to be one hell of a race.
All right. Well, Justin, anybody you want to thank tonight?
Just Scott for putting on a leg, you guys for calling the race, and everybody out there watching.
All right, fair enough. Justin Michael, congratulations on the win tonight. Hopefully we'll see you at Auto Club next week. If not, we're looking forward to seeing you in 3 weeks at Indy.
Thanks, guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, Sam, we got another one in the books. You kind of... We still need to figure out what we need to sacrifice to which deity to kind of get you all sorted out and not have the racing deities pissed at you anymore, because you've pissed off some sort of racing deity and we don't know which one.
Yeah, and it wasn't even contact that ended my race. It was actually aero push, because I was letting Ronnie pass me, and the aero push from his car just speared me into the wall. So it wasn't even contact that ended my race this time. So it's even more bizarre that I've actually ended up coming up with another DNF tonight.
Well, you know, this is one of those tracks where we get to see that lovely glitch in iRacing that, you know, the first caution was brought out by a car having pavement in his lap as the dreaded transmission tunnel glitch reared its ugly head. But all in all, pretty decent race. Only 3 cautions. So that's something to really be proud of for this league. You know, especially on a mile and a half like this. Yeah, the field got strung out, but still, there was some good battling going on for a good portion of the race. Justin Michaels coming home with a win. Ronnie Hosmer hanging on for second. Nate Siefker for third. Chris Walker hanging on for fourth. Tyler Vickery battling back for fifth after getting a lucky dog there. Joe Morganti, the last car on the lead lap, coming home in sixth. Scotty Brinson in seventh. Mark McFadden coming home in eighth. Paul Crumry in ninth. And John Napier rounding out your top 10. So it's a hard-fought top 10 for both Napier, Morganti, and Vickery. Then Doug Kennedy coming home in 11th. Mark Walker in 12th. Tony Rice in 13th. Keith Mayato bringing the only Ford in the field home in 14th. Robert Dudley, tough break for Robert, coming home in 15th. Sam Cooper Bennett in 16th. Greg Napier, that was a rough one for Greg as well, coming home in 17th. Kevin O'Brien, the only Aussie in the field, coming home in 18th. And Carl Burke, unfortunately, being the first one to drop out, only finishing 10 laps. So that is going to do it for us here tonight. You have been, of course, watching a presentation of the Top Fuel Racing League Top Fuel Racing Series DW12 League. They do this every Wednesday night. If you want to get involved in next week's action, go ahead and drop a comment with your iRacing screen name below. We'll get it passed along to league management, see if we can't get you added into some future action. So, as we were talking about, next week we're at Auto Club, then we go to Brands Hatch, and then we are at the Brickyard. So, the month of May, with a lot of action in store. Stay tuned to both broadcasting. Tomorrow night is going to be another Fan's Choice. Sam, where are the Somo Cup cars tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow kicks off a huge 3-night run at Dover, as tomorrow night the Somo League goes to Dover in the Cup cars, then Friday Go Fast Racing are there in the Xfinity cars, and then the Major League Esports are there in the K&N cars.
Fair enough. Well, for Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, for Mr. Scotty Brinson, this is Tony Trapasso saying we will see you tomorrow night in the Funny Papers.
Bye-bye.